Good morning, everyone. My name is James, and I will be your teacher in this marketing course. Welcome to the fourth lesson of Chapter 1 entitled Market Structure. Evaluating the market environment involves assessing the dynamics and actions of the actors operating within it. It is important to recognize that the fundamental traits of a market differ greatly based on the nature of its customers. Two main categories of markets can be identified. The first is the consumer market, or B2C, business to consumer, which describes the relationship between a company providing goods or services and the end consumer. The second is the industrial market, known as B2B, business to business, which involves transactions where the customers are other companies. The specific nature of each market heavily influences which marketing strategies can be implemented. The B2C market is essentially composed of individuals, families, or consumer groups that purchase goods or services for their personal benefit. Common examples of businesses targeting the B2C market are those selling food, clothing, appliances, or providing insurance and banking services. The significant diversity within this market requires a detailed analysis of products, which can differ in durability, tangibility, and how frequently they are purchased. A defining feature of B2C markets is the high degree of customer fragmentation. Often, this market consists of thousands or even millions of potential buyers, creating what is known as a mass market. This vastness leads to two immediate consequences. The company has low visibility of any single customer, and the balance of bargaining power is skewed in favor of the business. However, companies are increasingly using customer relationship management, CRM, technologies to cultivate one-to-one relationships and manage the satisfaction of individual customers. Another vital element in the consumer market is the power of branding. Building and preserving a strong brand is fundamental for competitive success. Finally, a key trait of the B2C landscape is the presence of commercial intermediaries, such as retail distribution networks, that operate between the supplier and the final consumer.
Now, let's focus on the industrial, or B2B, market. In this environment, businesses sell goods or services to other companies, which then use these items as inputs to create additional goods or services. The products exchanged in B2B markets typically fall into one of five categories: raw materials, components, services, investment goods, and finished products. The B2B market has several peculiarities when contrasted with the B2C space. Number and size of customers. The first element of diversity is the number and size of customers. In a specific B2B sector, the companies acting as buyers are usually limited in number and heterogeneous. For example, in the tire industry, manufacturers supply the same product to two different markets. The original equipment market is an industrial one, with a few dozen large customers like car and vehicle manufacturers. In contrast, the replacement market consists of millions of end customers, such as motorists, who buy from dealers and workshops. This illustrates why it is essential to segment B2B customers by their size and needs. Geographical concentration. B2B markets can also be highly concentrated geographically. This is evident in industrial districts, where companies from a specific sector tend to cluster, such as the historical concentration of the semiconductor industry in California's Silicon Valley. Market demand. Demand in B2B markets often appears to be inelastic to price changes. In the short run, companies tend to absorb cost increases from their suppliers, eventually passing them on to the final consumers of their own products. Demand fluctuations in industrial sectors are also frequently more pronounced. This can lead to the bullwhip effect, a phenomenon where the variability of demand gets amplified as one moves up the supply chain, away from the final market. Financing. A final unique aspect is that B2B transactions are often accompanied by loans. This can involve a variety of financial tools, from hedging financial risks to project financing techniques.
In conclusion, the B2B market is different from the B2C reality because of its greater intrinsic complexity, related to both the nature of the goods and the purchasing process itself. Because of this complexity, the B2B market is also characterized by more objectivity and rationality in the buyer's goals and decision-making criteria, which can, in some ways, simplify analysis. Click like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next lesson.